Carnival Spirits. It's TJ, and I'm back up on the internet with a video for y'all, streaming live, dual streaming with StreamYards on YouTube and Facebook. It's been a minute, and I want to give a huge shout out to my crew, Scotty Balls, Cali Green 2 Fresh, and all the ninjas that fuck with Carnival Spirits. Everyone who's been a part of this channel in the past, and everyone who wants to fuck with us moving forward. I'm glad to know you, and I'm here specifically to make a video response to my man Ronebone of Beneath the Dirt. So we're not going to beat around the bush here, and I've been meaning to stream live again and chop it up with y'all, but I'm not really going to chop it up with anybody. I'm not inviting any guests. I have a very specific purpose for coming up here today. Is I wanted to actually respond to Ronebone's recent video talking about Juggalos being blinded by loyalty. And I know that since that video's come out, there's been a whole lot of other revelations and news and bombs dropped that we'll address shortly in another video. So let's get into this. Juggalos blinded by loyalty. It's quite a concept. And I personally think it's not that black or white. I don't think you can put Juggalos in a box like that. I think that there are plenty of Juggalos that actually support Twisted, and it might be a sort of internet attention-grabbing, trolling, echo chamber thing when you see a lot of ninjas, all acting like a mob mentality. That's nothing new. But the topic comes up. Are Juggalos blinded by loyalty? I'd like to pose the question, is sports fans or wrestling fans blinded by loyalty? Like anyone who gets seriously passionate about their activities, does anyone else that feel the freedom of enjoying the sports and the artists of your choosing and disliking other teams and other artists because they rub you the wrong way, or maybe you don't like their performances of late? Is Red Sox Nation blinded by loyalty because they rep Yankees suck bumper stickers? And what about that kid who likes the Uso brothers and fucking hates the Wyatt family? Are they blinded by loyalty? Just posing these questions. Please let me know how you feel in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. It doesn't matter. I want to hear your opinions. For years I've sat back and I've just watched countless Juggalos venting online about all their ass aches towards ICP and Psychopathic in every detail of their business. And this continues to happen. It's happening to Twisted and Magic Ninja Entertainment. At times, I've felt like dumbfounded at how unloyal some ninjas come across when it comes to ICP. Ninjas be talking hella shit like all day. Unfiltered complaints out the ass, only to show up with bells on at the very next clown show, the irresistible and undeniable attraction of the Wicked Clowns live performances. But it doesn't stop them from running their mouths online. I don't think anything can stop anybody from running their mouths online. That'll never change. I've also noticed that a lot of people have a hard time accepting opposing opinions. Hence the divide. All right, now let's talk about this new music. Ronebone brings up the Riders shout out. How, Twisted's camp and everybody they got involved in their version, their new incarnation of the Riders, how they, shouted out all the psychopathic Riders members and wish them well. In my opinion, that doesn't mean shit. And I'll tell you why. Twin Gats, Misery, was on the first Riders album, Dumpin', in 1999. But on the very next album in 2001, Bullet says, "I'll leave you missing like twin gats, lost in the cave with the rats and bats." You know, it's all hip hop. I fucking love that shit. I'm going to admit something. I had to go to the dictionary and actually look up what "want all the smoke" means, because I just wanted to make sure that I understood what everybody is saying when they say that, Twisted wants all the smoke. Madrox wants all the smoke on this new track. So I went to a dictionary. I found out it says, "We want all the smoke" is a hip hop phrase used by a member of a group to signal they are ready for battle, and originally referred to gun battles, and now it's used for friendlier challenges. So with that being said, is Twisted beating a dead horse with their new single, Never Change? No, not really. That horse is alive, and they want all the smoke still, unfortunately for everybody who's just over this rivalry, right? Well, Romebone says that Twisted is a punching bag. Unfortunately, I don't see that changing anytime soon, I'll be honest. At least not for the internet's sake. I kind of feel like ICP has mastered the art of rising above that kind of thing a long time before they even signed Twisted to begin with, I mean, they embraced the title of the world's most hated bands, and they never let a hater stop their shine. And that's something that I personally always admired about ICP. I'm not really capable of harnessing my emotions that well. If I know somebody hates me, it bums me out. You know what's even worse? Having a fake friend stab you in the back and betray you. So that brings us to the ICP interview with Faygo Lovers years ago. The questions posed: without that interview, would there still be a divide in the Juggalo community? I think yes, there absolutely would. Because if you recall, that interview was done in a direct response to MNE announcing Young Wicked as their newest artist on the roster on New Year's Eve at the exact same time that Psychopathic launched the Juggalo March website. Because there was supposed to be a performance of Dark Lotus, Tales from the Lotus Pod, in its entirety at Juggalo Weekend that year. And they scrapped it and rebooted it as the Amazing Jekyll Brothers in the Tunnel of Love. That situation needed an explanation. And if we didn't get it from Jay in that interview on Faygo Lovers, we were going to get that information anyways. I mean, the puzzle pieces were all there, and there's just way too many ninjas with their heads stuck underneath the curtain, talking to their friends. So obviously there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of speculation out there. But when Jay sat down with Scotty D of Faygo Lovers and gave that interview, that was what do you call it? That was a moment. That was a moment where he chose to go to Faygo Lovers. He went to the Juggalos to reveal this shit. He didn't go to Detroit Metro Times or Rolling Stone. That was him talking to us and giving us the scoop, their side of it. Anyways, Roanbone of Beneath the Dirt, he blames Violent J obviously. You know, he quotes some bars from Twisted's new single, Never Change. And I'm not gonna talk much about that single, but I guess that was the reason that this question came up. Because why? I don't know. Are Juggalos out there talking shit about that single? You know, is that divide still strong in the whatever? I actually don't pay too much attention to that shit. It's just not interesting to me. But he also mentioned Violent J speaking on the situation on Fearless Fred Fury. I forgot the name of the track. It's seriously hilarious. Jay makes reference to the Juggalo March. He doesn't even say the Juggalo March in the song. He doesn't say Twisted in the song. I do not believe that verse in that song is solely about Twisted at all. All right, I grabbed the lyrics off of genius.com. Let's read this, okay? This is Violent J's bars on Seriously Hilarious. I just want to put this out there and ask y'all if you really think this is just about Twisted. These bitch-ass artists out here ride the Juggalo escalator all damn day. They think they the greatest on the way up, then they walk away. Knowing the rest all hate us, they watch what they say. Coulda repped but downplayed us, fucking lost their way. We might make 9/10 of that list of invites into a fucking hit list and commence to making shit right. Not one fuck with any real fame and balls, lent their goddamn name to the cause. Nobody. Isn't it kind of obvious that this is in reference to all of the artists that they listed and invited personally and publicly to come join the Juggalo March and stand up for our right not to be pigeonholed as a goddamn gang for being a fan, a community of music enthusiasts. Again, that's just my opinion. Certain Juggalos do ride for ICP so hard that they feel they can do no wrong. But you know why? I don't have the image here. But you seen that meme where the chick's holding up the sign that says, "You saved me. Your music saved me." Sorry, but that's just how it is. You know? And I could probably go on and on and on about this, but I'm going to stick to the cliff notes. All right? It's the bottom line. Nobody is loyal for no reason. I don't think that as many Juggalos are as loyal as you think either. You know, it's the burden of all rappers that are trying to develop and cultivate a loyal fan base. It's just not easy. We all have the attention span about as long as a commercial on YouTube up until you can hit that skip ad button. All right, Romebone also mentions the fuck shit with Young Wicked. And he actually says, I don't blame Violent J for that. So I'm not sure if he's contradicting himself or he's just doing a good job of throwing all this information out there with a very clickbaity title to get a conversation started. I'm cool with it either way because he's a really good guy. And I don't mind disagreeing or I really don't care if he thinks that it's all Violent J's fault, but then at the same time understands that maybe the motivation for going live or the motivation, just the reason for feeling, a certain way was justified. All I know is that situation of jumping ship, knocking up your boss's daughter, all of that, it was the catalyst for this. It really was for this feud. How can you say you blame Jay for the divide when Otis was the one who fucked them over? I mean, M&E opened their arms and would like, yes, come to us. Fuck them. In my eyes, that seems like it's more of the agitating action, that maybe people aren't handling it well on both sides. But, and again, I don't know the whole situation, so without going down the rabbit hole anymore, I'm just saying, when Twisted left Psychopathic in 2012, I was still supporting them, and I continued to support them right up until the Juggalo March. When they refused to stand in solidarity with the Juggalos in a peaceful protest, fighting for our rights as Americans not to be labeled as a gang by our own government, I mean, there's way too many factors to just place the blame solely on one person. And Rombone doesn't do that at all. He acknowledges that there are people to blame in both camps. I really like Rombone. I like his channel. I think everybody should go and subscribe to him for real. Check his shit out. He covers all type of hip hop. He does it with a much appreciated professionalism. Even if he is a little biased towards M&E at times, that's totally okay. I prefer that than the Chuck Reeves approach, which is full of trolling and antagonizing people. But I enjoy rap beefs as much as the next guy, as long as it doesn't spill into real violence. All right? I can stand by that. But unfortunately, it's the hardcore fans in each camp that keep fueling these feuds. Whether it's out of the love of shit posting and getting a reaction, or they're just so loyal to ICP that they just blindly attacked any and all ops with a vengeance. I really don't think it's that serious. For years and years, ICP had been targeted, trolled, hound dogged, slandered, and exposed by jaded fans and old school juggalos who just made it their business to basically stalk the wicked clowns, everything they're involved in. You guys remember them? They were called the Juggalo Holocaust. That was not created by M&Mers. That was Juggalos. I haven't seen any fucking Twisted Holocaust fucking uprise, so it ain't that bad. Look, still to this day, I haven't even listened to the entire Generation Nightmare album. All right, I didn't like the tracks I heard. And I really didn't like Twisted's attitude and stance towards the Juggalo March. In my opinion, they lost respect and support of Juggalos for a good reason right there. And honestly, Juggalos have the right to react any way they want. It's really not just because Jay so eloquently explained how someone who's not gay could suck a dick in front of you just to show you how much they don't give a fuck. I'm going to wrap this up by reminding y'all that it took about 10 years after the ICP M&M feud was over for the Juggalo community to finally let that shit go. And it doesn't mean that there wasn't dozens and dozens of level-headed ninjas who like to bump Eminem and ICP getting super annoyed over beating that dead horse. The Twisted's Never Change track, I listened to it. I bumped it. It was like the first new Twisted track that I've ever bumped since Generation Nightmare came out. Maybe that means I'm willfully blind, or more appropriately, willfully deaf. I don't know. But you know what I love? I love my freedom. I love my freedom to listen to what I want, the freedom to like what I want, to listen to what I like. I like the freedom not to listen to what I don't care about. One of the stupidest things I ever heard Monoxide say was something about what scared him the most was how people could just pull the plug and stop listening to their music strictly over what record label symbol was on the album. He really emphasized it. He's like, that shit scares me, bro. But to me, that felt like a straw man argument, because I traveled all the way from Massachusetts to Ohio for New Year's Evil 5. I attended Twisted's very first live performance after they left Psychopathic. I did my very first VIP there. And it wasn't until years later when they scooped up Young Wicked, forming Diet Psychopathic roster, I decided to stop supporting. It wasn't because they left the label. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Now we're in 2020. I actually might be ready to start giving some of those new Twisted singles a listen that I've been sleeping on for so long, because Rome Bone speaks very highly of them. He says they're way better than the album joints. Well, I've been quiet for long enough, and I'm back now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, stay tuned for more. I think the next one's going to be talking about that Monstrous 5 ICP, you know what I'm talking about, the coins. I'm going to speak on that next. So if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. We're Carnival Spirits. I'm Beastmaster. You guys are awesome. Please check out beneathdirt.com and give Rome Bone a subscribe on YouTube. All right? Leave it in the comments, and always remember to fuck the fuck off. See you.